Welcome, Lentlemen, to Weekly Random Facts number 7. Let's dive right in. I have 3 people for you today because they're quite short articles. They're also not articles because I'm reading from my DC Encyclopedia now because I have this big-ass book, and obviously I need to make use of it. So here we go. First we have Abracadabra. First appearance, Flash, first series, number 128, May 1962. Status villain, real name Citizen Abra. Occupation, techno sorcerer. Base, Keystone City. Height 6'6". Weight 209 pounds. Eyes blue, hair black. Special powers, abilities. Kadabra's magic-like powers were purely the result of futuristic technology. However, he is now a genuine sorcerer. In the 64th century, Earth was ruled by the Chronarch and his central clockworks. Citizen Abra rebelled against the strict order of the Chronarch's world. Championing individuality, Abra was seen as a criminal and banished to Earth's ancient past. Transplanted to the central city at the end of the 20th century, Abra used 64th century technology to create a new identity and become the criminal Abracadabra. Desperate for adulation and possessing powers so amazing they seem magical, Abracadabra crafted a series of spectacular crimes, hoping to win admirers. Thwarted time and again by the second Flash, Kadabra's technology was accidentally damaged, and he was transformed into a ghost-like entity. Restored to normal, Kadabra was brought back to the 64th century by a bounty hunter named Peregrine. Kadabra was about to be executed when the Flash saved him and destroyed the central clockworks. Returning to the 21st century, Kadabra was stripped of his powers, but after a deal with the demon Neron, Abracadabra became a true sorcerer, able to cast spells and fire energy bolts. He continues to be a threat to the Flash. Now we have Agamemnon, whose first appearance was Silver Age number 1, July 2000. Status villain. Real name unpronounceable / unspellable. Occupation would-be universe conqueror. Base outer space. Height variable, weight variable, eyes variable, hair none. Special powers abilities. Imbues inanimate objects with his energy, bringing them to life. Causes personas to swap bodies. Composed of cosmic energy, Agamemnon was one of the first sentient beings formed in the wake of the Big Bang. Upon seeing the vastness of space, Agamemnon wanted to control it, to rule the other life forms just being born. His father, however, wanted to control the cosmos himself. Thereby pitting himself against his son, seeking an advantage to end this stalemate, Agamemnon converted himself into sentient energy and toured the universe in search of 3 objects that could be pieced together into a killing weapon. His search brought him to Earth during the early days of the modern heroic age, where he manipulated superpowered heroes and villains to do his bidding. The various members of the JLA managed to thwart his scheme, however, and kept the objects from being used. Agamemnon then returned to space, seeking another way to beat his father for control of the cosmos. Now we have Akrata, first appearance, Superman, second series, annual number 12, August 2000. Status hero, real name Andrea Rojas, occupation Mesoamerican anthropologist, base Mexico City, height 5'6", weight 125 pounds, eyes blue, hair red, special powers ability, superb athlete and martial artist. In her youth, Andrea Rojas moved with her family from Coban, Guatemala to Mexico while her father continued his studies of Mesoamerican culture for the National Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City. Joining in her father's work, Andrea also became learned in ancient myths and languages. However, she was increasingly distracted by the modern-day ills suffered by her culture, particularly those created by narcotics trafficking and rampant crime. A gifted athlete and martial artist, Andrea adopted the masked identity of Akrata, a name which when translated means those who suppress authority, and decided to fight organized crime. Wearing a costume adorned with the Mayan symbol of the shadows, a totem that purportedly allowed Mayan priests to travel stealthily in the dark, Akrata began striking at the drug cartels of South America, frequently uniting with fellow Mexican heroes Iman and El Muerto. The trio once teamed with Superman to defeat the sinister sorcerer Duran. As her calling card, Akrata leaves spray-painted literary epithets to mark her capture of a perpetrator or prevention of a crime. So there we have our 3 of the day. A fucking weird-ass sorcerer, a wannabe tyrant, and a Mexican Robin Hood, apparently. So onward to the releases. Assassin's Creed Rogue on the PC, March 10th. It's another Assassin's Creed game, except this time, big spoiler, apparently, you play as a what do they call fucking Templar? There you go. He plays a Templar. It's supposed to be better than Unity was, and apparently it should run better, so there's that. I don't much care for Assassin's Creed anymore, so I'll let everybody else decide on that one. Then we have Atlier Shally, Alchemists of the Dusk Sea on PS3, March 10th. And I believe this to be a JRPG. Yes, it is a JRPG, whereas you play as, looks to be a crew of girls, and they might be pirates? Yeah, I don't know. That's some anime stuff that I'm not going to play. Cities Skylines on the PC, March 10th. That's a SimCity-like game. From what I've heard around the interwebs, it's not as good as Cities XXL, I believe. And Cities XXL and Cities Skylines are completely different series, so don't get them confused. But if you're into city building games, maybe check it out. I mean, I don't know how much it's going to be, so don't waste money if you don't have to. Then we have DMC Devil May Cry Definitive Edition on the Xbone and PS4 on March 10th. That is the new Devil May Cry that was on previous consoles, is now being definitivized for the new gen, quote unquote. It's Devil May Cry's combat, which is fun, fast. If you like it, you like it. And I'm not one of those people that got caught up on the whole, oh, Dante has different hair and now he's all emo bullshit. Nerds! Yeah, no, not gonna happen. So, onward to that. It's an alright game. Maybe check it out. Flame Over on the Vita, March 10th. This game looks fun if you're interested in it like I am. You play as a little fireman who goes around putting out fires and rescuing people in apartment complexes and buildings. It looks kind of fun, but unfortunately I don't own a Vita. If anybody watching this owns a Vita, check that game out because it looks really good. And maybe leave a comment. Yeah, that'd be cool because then I could read it and then I can see if I should pick up a damn Vita. Because I keep holding off until they get a bunch of good games I want to play. Then we have Hotline Miami 2 on the PS4, PS3, Vita, and PC, March 10th. That is the sequel to Hotline Miami, obviously. And it looks to be more of the same, with a little bit more ridiculousness thrown in, I guess. If you like Hotline Miami 1, get this one. Then we have Mushroom Men Truffle Trouble on the PC for March 10th. It looks to be a platformer where you play as a little mushroom man running from a fat princess. So it's like those levels in Mario where the screen's slowly moving to the right, but there's puzzles and all, there's like puzzle elements and all that good stuff associated with it. So there's that. I mean, the art style is pretty neat, and music sounds good. It's supposedly done by Les Claypool of South Park fame. Maybe give it a look if you have a PC. We have Resident Evil Revelations 2, Episode 3, coming out on the PlayStation systems March 10th, and Xbox Live and PC the 11th. Same thing as it's been the last 2 weeks. It's Revelations 2. It's whatever, really, because I'm not going to get it, and you're probably not. Sniper Elite 3 Ultimate Edition, Xbone, 360, PS4, PS3 on March 10th. From what I can gather, it's Sniper Elite 3 with the DLCs built in. So if you like popping people's heads and nuts with X-ray vision, that's your game. I mean, it's alright. Story-wise, it's It's just another World War II era shooter. But the gameplay is really what that game's all about, because it's good sniper gameplay. Up next, Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters for the PS3 and Vita March 10th. This looks to be a RPG where you play as ghost hunters. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory in the name. The gameplay looks to be, I don't know if you fight things. Yeah, you fight things, but you also, the dialogue is weird. It is definitely some weird anime game. I don't know how to describe it, so you'll have to look it up for yourselves. That game again is Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters. More anime stuff. Yippee fucking skippy. Ori and the Blind Forest on Xbone and PC, March 11th. This game has been waited for a while now because of its beautiful art style. This is definitely one of the prettiest looking games I've seen in a while. It looks to be an action platformer with some kind of, I want to say gravity mechanics, but it's not really gravity. But it is, but you can also pick things up and throw them, it would appear. It looks decent. Maybe check it out, depending on the price, like always. Try not to overspend, because then you're stuck with a game you might not want. Then there's Sid Meier's Starships for the PC, Mac, and iOS March 12th, which is, I believe it's a space battle sim developed by the guy behind, yes, it's a space battle, I believe to be 4K, 4X, kind of game developed by Sid Meier, who's behind like Civilization and all that good stuff. If you like the genre, which, some people don't because it's kind of boring. I have my days where I enjoy it. Check that one out, maybe. Then we have Trine Enchanted Edition for the Wii U, March 12th. Trine being the platformer where you play as one of three or all three characters set in a fantasy world. It's alright, I don't recommend it. Especially not on the Wii U, that can't be good. And finally we have Codename Steam for the 3DS on March 13th. Codename Steam appears to be some sort of puzzle game. Is it a puzzle? Yeah, it might be a puzzle platformer that's played in... What the hell? No, it's a third-person shooter on the 3DS, but it's so weird. Yeah, it's a third-person shooter RPG. Is it an RPG? I don't know. I don't know enough about this game. It's a third-person shooter, I know that much. I'm going to say that one more time. It's a third-person shooter. Fucking nerd! Yeah, it's an RPG. So it seems to be kind of like XCOM in that way. Because you control a squad. You look like plumbers, which is just weird. Regardless, check that one out maybe. So that's it for the releases. And what have I been playing? I've been playing the wonderful slew of games that got released on PS Plus this week. Because OlliOlli 2 has been great. It's the sequel to OlliOlli skateboarding game. Playing a lot of that. Its controls handle a lot better than OlliOlli, which I had to give up playing after about, 8 solid hours, because suddenly when you get towards the end of that game, the controls don't want to work and momentum's not a thing. I've also been playing Helldivers, which is a twin-stick shooter where you fight against cyborgs and aliens and all that good sci-fi stuff. But it's fun, and if I had a group of people to play with, I'm sure it'd be a lot more fun, but nobody picked that one up because it was like $20, I believe, when it came out. Which, hey, like I always say, spend your money wisely. Video games is a hobby you do not have to partake in. If you don't want to buy $60, $20 games, you don't have to. I'm just recommending. I'm not saying you need to buy anything. And on that note, I'm going to end this fact video with a big thank you for everybody that does watch this and anybody who shares this. I, quote unquote, love you all. So thank you very much. Please like, favorite, subscribe to this video if you have a YouTube account. If you don't, please make one and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you and have a great day.